Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all? You're doing well? Good. My dear learners, English 9, unit number 2. Now that we have covered our unit number 1, we have moved to unit 2 with the competency of grammar. And this is our lecture number 1. We will be discussing pronouns. Just let me know if I'm audible. Can you hear me loud and clear? Students who have joined us online, if you have trouble hearing me, then just raise your hands. Good. All right. Now, for grammar's competency, we are starting with students' learning outcome from about pronouns. Let's see what it says. It says, demonstrate knowledge and application of parts of speech in oral and written communication in varying degrees of complexity. It's a very broad students learning outcome. We are going to learn pronouns, which we know it's a part of speech, and we will be seeing them in both oral and written communication. We will be seeing different types of pronouns along with examples and some activities. So you have to be ready to solve those activities. You have to be very much attentive during this lesson because this is very important. Now, again, let's begin with the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. You can see a verse translated into English. This is from Surah Al-Yusuf. This is verse number 2. It says, we have sent it, the Quran, down as an Arabic Quran so that you may understand. Now, Allah is saying that we have actually revealed the Quran in the Arabic language because at that point it was easy so that you can understand it easily. Now, can you spot a pronoun in this verse? Students, come on, you have to answer it. Just raise your hands if you see a pronoun. I'm talking about pronoun, not proper noun. We are doing pronouns. Yes, we. What else? Name any other pronoun that you see. Come on, students. Yes, you is also a pronoun. Now we will see what kind of pronouns these are because they are categorized into different types. Now, one more please. Last one, then we will move on. Yes? Lukman, can you see it? Okay. Yeah. This is also a pronoun. Now, I hope that you have understood this verse. We have also learned our pronouns a little bit from this. Now, let's move on. Now, I would like to ask you, are you familiar with all the parts of speech in the English language? Yes, we have learned it since probably from grade 1. We have been learning all the parts of speech. Now, I hope and I assume that you can name all of them. Just to do a quick brainstorming session, just recall all those parts of speech. And if you are confused about anything, whether you're confused about adjectives, prepositions, or conjunctions, you can have your questions in the middle of the lesson. So, are we clear about all these parts of speech? Right? Now, when we are having communication in English or when we are writing it, when we are reading it, we see that all those words are categorized into different word classes, and those word classes are actually our parts of speech. Everything that you see which is written, and even if I'm speaking right in front of you, I am only using all these parts of speech, nothing else. So you have to recognize each one of them to identify it and then use it accordingly. We are clear about nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, conjunctions, prepositions, and interjections. Now we are dealing with pronoun. And it usually comes right after noun because it replaces the nouns, right? Let's see how do we define it. All right, let's talk about the word pronoun. What do you think? It's made up of two words, right? Pro and noun. It means that noun has a very special role in pronouns. Let's see where does it originated from basically. So the word pronoun, originally it is coming from the Latin word pronomen. Now Latin is a very old ancient language. The word is pronomen. Then it becomes pronoun with the passage of time, with excessive usage. Then it means for or in place of. Pronomen means in place of. We use pronouns in place of something. What is that something? Is it noun? Yes, we use pronouns in the place of nouns. Come on, students, speak up. I need your full attention over here because we are going to do 2 or 3 activities in the middle, so you have to be very much active. Now, the word itself means in the place of. Yes, we use pronouns in the place of nouns. And now, the pronoun is a stand-in word for a noun, so you can use pronouns instead of just repeating the nouns and names. So it is very difficult to repeat the noun again and again, to say one name over and again. So we need a shortcut, right? Can we use a shortcut? Yes, we can use pronouns as our shortcuts for nouns. So this is the whole purpose of using pronouns in our speech and in our writing. Now, let's look at this example. Students, can you read this one? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. It says, Umar went to the store with his father. Umar and Umar's father brought some groceries and then went back to Umar and Umar's father's house. So, do you think this is correct? It's the right way to say this thing? Umar and his father, Umar and his father. We do not need repetition. We just need a very good shortcut for that. So, let's use pronouns. Umar went to the store with his father. Now, we are talking about two people, right? They bought some groceries and went back to their house. Now, we just use the name Umar and father only once, not even twice, and we replaced it with pronouns. They are referring to, they is referring to what? Umar and his father. We are referring to these two persons by using one word, which is a pronoun. And then they went back to where? Umar and Umar's father's house. So it means the house belonged to them. We can say their house. The house belonged both of them to both of them, and they both are going there. So we just used a single shortcut in the form of pronoun. We call it their. So this is what pronouns are all about. Now there are different types of pronouns that we need to see, right? Can you name any one type of pronoun, students? Before we just dive in further, I need you to name one or two types of pronouns.
Sir, there are nine pronouns. There are nine types of pronoun: demonstrative, interrogative,
Yeah,
reflexive,
that's right.
intensive, possessive, reciprocal, indefinite, and relative pronouns.
That's good. That's a very good answer. All right. Let's see. Now, a pronoun is a word that is used to replace or substitute a noun in a substitute means the same thing, using one thing in the place of another. And we avoid repetition. That is our whole purpose of using pronouns. If somebody asks you about using pronouns, why do we use them? You would say we use it for avoiding repetition. We do not want repetition in our speech and in our writing. And pronouns, they are very helpful. They shrink your sentences, they shrink your sentence and your speech and make it very compact, right? So pronouns are helpful for making sentence less repetitive and more concise. We can say our we can talk in a very quick way, in a very short way. So it's just like a shortcut. They simplify communication by referring back to previously mentioned nouns. It is referring back to the nouns again. Now let's see how it goes. Here, students, is the chart visible to you? Right? Can you read it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Let's see the different types, right? Now, first we have, let's start here, personal pronouns. Then we have impersonal pronouns, demonstrative, distributive, indefinite. Here we have reciprocal, reflexive or emphatic, relative, interrogative, and possessive. Now, you just need to memorize them. That's all. And you can memorize them using any mnemonic. You can make a very good sentence out of it so that you do not forget any type of pronoun. So let's see. It's starting with P, I, D, D, I, R, 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 I, P. You can make a word out of it. You can just make a pattern and then you can memorize them easily. So how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is actually covered in personal in one category, but I've just put it out so that because the difference is very important to understand. So these are these 10 types of pronouns that we need to learn so that we can recognize any of them easily. All right. Okay, let's talk about, I've talked about this already. They make it concise. Pronouns are shortcuts. We use them to replace and avoid repetition. Now let's talk about personal pronouns. What do you think about the word personal? It is related to a person, right? It could be related to me. It could be related to you. So all these words that are related to me are, or the other person personally, they are your personal pronouns. It substitutes a specific person or an object. Now, let's look. In a sentence, we have a subject, right? What is a subject? Subject is the person, it could be a thing, it could be anything that we are referring to, which we are giving information about. So that is a subject. I, you, they is used for more than one person, right? He, she, it, we, all these are your personal pronouns. This is personal to me, this is referring to the person, this is referring to more than one person, and this is referring to a gender of male, this is referring to a female gender, This is for any inanimate object like chair or light, etc. And this is referring when I have my 5 friends over here, I will say we are standing here. It means I am including all of my friends and I'm using the word we. I'm not saying Lukman is here, Ali is here, Hamza is here. I'm just saying we are here. So this is also a personal pronoun. Now, when we are saying that when we are using objects, like when we are talking about something directly or indirectly, and that would be our object. For example, these words me, him, her, you, it, us, them. Now, let's look at this sentence. Have you told him? What is him? Him is the thing on which we are doing any action. Alright? So anything, any person on whom we are doing any action, they are called the objects. Now, all these words like have you told her, have you seen us? So seeing, the action is being performed on the object, right? I want to play with him. I won't say I want to play with Ali. I would say I want to play with him. I have replaced his name with the, because that is an object, I replaced it with a personal pronoun. So these are your subjects and these are your objects when you want to use them as personal pronouns. Let's move further. Now, what is the word impersonal mean? What does it mean? It means something that is not personal. Let's see. Impersonal pronouns are used when the focus is on the action itself rather than the person performing the action. For example, impersonal pronouns, they include it, one, and they, used in the singular sense. Now these are not personal, right? They are referring to the what? They are referring to the person, not to the person performing the action, where there it is on the action itself. All right? It, I believe it, right? Now this is an action, not the person who's doing that action. So all these kind of words which we are having this category, they are your impersonal pronouns. It's it, one, and they. So these are your impersonal pronouns. Okay, what do we have here now? Speak up. Possessive pronoun, right? Possessive means this pen is mine. This pointer is mine. I am possessing it. I am owning it. It belongs to me. So this is in my possession. Alright? So this means that if we want to show some possession, any possession, then we will be using these pronouns which we will be calling possessive pronoun. It shows ownership. If you own something, if something belongs to you, then you will use all these pronouns. Let's see. Independent possessive pronouns, they aren't followed by another noun. You don't need to use any other noun after it. Let's see. The house is theirs. Now, theirs is actually showing us possession. Possession of what? The house. The house is belonging to theirs. Are they one person or more than one person? More than one, right? So, here the word, the pronoun there is showing possession. Possession of the house, it could show any kind of possession. The cat is hers. Okay. Now, hers, when we are using s with it, it will become your possessive pronoun. And this is referring to the cat. So when you want to show that something belongs to me or the other person, then all those words will be your possessive pronouns. Here's the list of all these possessive pronouns to remember. You can memorize them. It's mine, yours, ours, his, hers, and its, and theirs. They're mostly ending with s. All right. Reflexive pronouns, students. Till now, if you have any kind of trouble with the previous types of pronouns, you can ask your question right now. Are we clear about the previous types of pronouns? Good. Okay, reflexive pronouns. The word we need to focus on this word. It is reflexive. It means that it is showing reflection. Reflection means, in Urdu, it's aks. It is showing some reflection of something or someone. All right. So it is used when the subject and object, both subject who is doing the action and object on which the action is being done. So we use it for subject and object of the sentence when they are the same. These pronouns refer back to the subject of the sentence. For example, I want to buy myself a new car. Now, are we talking about somebody else? We are just talking about one person, and that person is using a pronoun for itself, for him or herself. So it means that the pronoun is actually reflecting back the person. This is why we call it reflexive pronouns. I want to buy myself a car, a new car. So it means that this self, myself, is referring to the subject. Which one is the subject over here? I is the subject. So myself, himself, herself, all these are your reflexive pronouns, and they are being reflected to the subject. All right. So myself, yourself, ourselves, himself, herself, itself for inanimate objects, yourselves for more than one person, themselves is also for more than one person. Can you tell me which one of them are singular and which one of them are plural? Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, and the rest of them are in the plural form. So can I use let's say itself for me, for myself? Can I use it? No. This will be used for any inanimate objects. All right. Good. Now, reciprocal pronouns. Is it a difficult word? No, it's not. Let's break it down. See, when we used it, when two or more people are doing the same thing, they are doing the same thing and doing the same action to one another. They are being reciprocal, right? I do something and I get something in return. This is a relationship. Okay, let's see. We just have two types of reciprocal pronouns: each other and one another. That's it. Let's see. For example, the kids kick the ball to one another. Imagine there are two kids, two boys, they are playing. Each one of them just passed the ball to the other boy, and he also did the same thing. So Are they doing the same action? Yes, they're doing the same action. So it means we can say, instead of just saying Ali passed the ball to Hamza and Hamza passed the ball to Ali, we could just say they kicked
Relation.
the kids kicked the ball to one another. That's it. We just don't have to say he did that and then he also did that. We just can say that they did it to one another. All right. How do we use the reciprocal pronoun each other? Let's see. Fatima and Anna are talking to each other. Instead of saying Fatima is talking to Anna and Anna is talking to Fatima, we could just say they're talking to each other. They're talking, right? Both of them are doing that action. They are equally involved in the action. And we can say just Fatima and Anna are talking to each other. That's it. This is how you use these reciprocal pronouns. There's just two of them. It's very easy to remember. Okay, is everything clear? Good. Let's talk about relative pronouns. Now, Lukman, do you know the meaning? Do you know why we use relative pronouns? No, it's not used for relatives, okay? Let me tell you. It connect a clause or phrase to a noun or pronoun. It means it connects them. It links them. So it can relate with each other. That's why we call it relative pronoun. Let's see. Relative pronoun. For example, I don't know which hat to buy. Or I didn't hear what you said. Now this word, this relative pronoun is telling us something. Imagine there are 4 caps or hats in front of me, and I'm not sure which one to buy. This one, this one, this one, or this one. So what am I referring to? The hats, right? So if I'm having 4 hats in front of me, and I'm saying I don't know which one to buy, it means the word which is actually referring to the hats. I don't know which one to select. Okay. I didn't hear what you said. Now, what is actually referring to the thing that he said. I don't know what he said. So I would say, I don't know what you said. What word is referring to the thing that he said earlier, which I didn't listen, which I didn't hear. So this is linking with that thing. And which is linking with the hats. So who, whom, all these are your relative pronouns. For demonstrative pronouns, we have these 4 words. These 4 words over here, this, these, those, and that. Some of them are singular and some are plural in the plural sense. Now, if we have something which is closer to me, I would say this is mine because this is closer. But if it's very far from me, I would say that is my pointer. All right? Yes. Asif Javed.
Sir,
Yes. Yes, please put forward your question.
demonstrative pronoun are those that point to specific thing.
Yes, to that specific thing which is a little far. All right? Okay. Now, these two, they are referring to things that are closer to you, and these two, those and that, they are referring to things that are a little far. They are not in our reach. So those shoes look great. And these apples are red. If I have some apples in my hand, I would say those apples are good. No. These apples that I have in my hand, they are good. Those bananas are tasty. Those which I don't have right now. All right. So this for something closer. If there are more than one thing, if there is more than one thing that I would use these. If there is one thing which is far away, I would say that. And if there are there's more than one thing far away, I would say those, right? All right. Interrogative. Have you ever heard the word interrogative before? Interrogative is used for interrogation. It's used for questions. Now they take the place of a noun in a question. So the questions, when they are starting with those specific words like what, why, when, where, how, all these are your interrogative pronouns. We are asking questions using these pronouns like what time will you arrive? Who is she talking to? All right. So why they are called interrogative pronouns? Because this is a question, interrogation mark, right? Interrogative sign, interrogative punctuation mark. That's why we call them interrogative pronouns. They're very easy. There are 5 of them. You can easily remember. Now, indefinite means something that is not defined. You cannot clearly define something. Now, they are used to show unspecified people or objects. For example, they can be singular or plural. If I'm talking about everyone, somebody, all includes everyone, right? Everyone also includes every single person. All includes everything other than people also. Nobody, anything, few, many, something, they are. Because we are not sure about the quantity or the numbers, we call them indefinite pronouns. We cannot define them. So when I would say nobody was there, कोई भी वहां पर नहीं था, I am actually using indefinite pronoun. When I'm saying that there were many students in the class, do I know how many of them were there? I don't know the number. I would say there were many. All right, they were very few. 2, 2 थे या 3 या 5, I don't know, few of them, maybe 7. Okay, so these are your indefinite pronouns. Now, here is the passage. Students, is it visible? Can you see it? Right? Can you see the red bold words highlighted in the red color? These are all the pronouns that we learned. Can you see it? He, his, we. What kind of pronoun is we? What type of pronoun is we?
Personal pronoun.
Yeah. What kind of pronoun is there?
Sir, demonstrative.
No, it's not demonstrative pronoun. Come on, students. Is it reflexive, relative?
Relative pronoun.
Sorry?
Relative pronoun.
Yeah, this is relating them to something else. Good. You can get this paragraph from the PPT itself. You can spot all of them, all these pronouns, and you can label them. It's a reflexive pronoun, it's a demonstrative pronoun, it's a relative pronoun, etc. Now, you will learn about pronouns with the simulation. You can see. Now, students, okay, stay with me. You have to answer that. Which kind of pronoun are we going to use in this activity? We are going to use relative pronouns. Can somebody tell me the answer of the first question? Quaid-e-Azam was one such individual demonstrated remarkable abilities and skills in the establishment of Pakistan. यहां पर कौन सा pronoun हम यूज करेंगे? Relative, right?
relative,
Relative? Which one? Relative कौन से होते हैं?
their,
Yes. Quaid-e-Azam was one such individual, we can say, who
who,
demonstrated remarkable abilities. The car, we can say, whose color is blue, belongs to my friend. This is the house where I grew up. So you can see, you can fill that up. Next, since we are short of time, we can move it quickly. This is where you will be using distributive pronouns when you're distributing the pronouns. Let's see. Or you can call them indefinite pronouns as well. Choose the distributive pronoun in the sentence. Of the students completed their homework on time. All,
some,
each, huh? All?
yes,
Alright, good. Now, let's check. Just one answer from this activity, right? Which sentence uses a distributive pronoun? Is it this one? Everybody in the team has their own task. Each of the girls has finished she's project. This is wrong. It's not right. Neither of the option is correct, and none of the team members has finished. Which one of them used the distributive pronoun correctly? I'm leaving it to you. Come up with the answers.
everybody in this team has their own task.
Okay, that's good. All right. You can solve it later. This is where you will be putting the reflexive pronouns, right? Okay, you have to solve this worksheet. This is very important. Solve it and then submit it in the WhatsApp group. So you can get it in the resources. This is your homework. And then all these resources will be shared with you. You can access them easily. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that we have achieved our students' learning outcomes. सबको समझ आ गई है? सबको? We talked about pronouns and types. कोई type अगर आपको नहीं समझ आई, you can ask it in the next lesson. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.